of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from the book's crease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now to still be beating of my heart I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entering, entrance at my chamber door." Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact that I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long stood I, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore, Lenore." I whispered, an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon I heard tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what a threat is, and the mystery explore. Let my heart still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, with many a flit and flutter. In there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mine of lord or lady perched he above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad and fancy into agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing a bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the palace bust only spoke that word as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, Nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters, its only stock and store. Caught some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then on the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking, fancy unto fancy thinking, what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, an ominous bird of yore meant by croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fury eyes now burdened into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamp-lit gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall pass, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed with an unseen censer, swung by Severin, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath led thee by these angels he hath sent thee. Respite, respite, now depend thee from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind of nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, I said, a thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore. Desolate, yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me clasp a rare and radiant maiden who the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. By that word, our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black bloom as a token that the lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken and quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadows on the